All right, we are live and we are doing this finally. I am finally ready to sit down and talk about where I've been and what's been going on and what is next for me on this channel. I have seen you guys' comments literally like on a day-to-day basis asking me, Mo, when are you coming back to YouTube? Mo, are you ever coming back to YouTube? Where is Manny? Where you been? What's going on? And I've been like really reluctant to answer some of these questions without like a proper sit down video. So I've been like kind of dodging some of the questions, and like other times I won't even respond at all. And I don't mean to be like rude to anybody by doing that, but I felt like I wasn't ready to talk about it at that time, and I wanted to make sure that when I was ready that it was like a proper like video so I can just like discuss it and then like be able to move on rather than like a little text type of thing, you know? So I am just gonna sit here and chat, and hopefully this video was helpful for somebody. I know for the wide majority of you this is just gonna be some hot tea, honey, and I'm fine with that too. But for some of you guys, I really hope that this comes in like the perfect timing to help somebody through something that they may be going through. When I think back to why I first started my channel, it was really to help people that looked like me, that could relate, that may have needed somebody to like inspire, motivate them. And like all throughout the different types of content that I've uploaded, even though primarily it's been around makeup, that was always my objective, you know, like whether I was sharing details about my relationship, my breakups, my ups and downs, you know, different stuff. It was always with the idea in mind that this could resonate with somebody else out there and therefore be helpful. Because there's been too many times that I can think back to where I was going through something and that one video that I clicked on really made all the difference in my perspective and really helped me to get through it, or at least be able to like understand a little bit clearer what it was that I wanted to do or how I was going to move forward. So sit back. I don't know how long this video is going to be. And I hope that you guys enjoy. I don't know if that's appropriate. I don't know if I want to say I hope you enjoy, but I hope that this video is what you were looking for, and I'm sorry that it took me so long to get there. Okay? Okay. I slept with the AC on last night on like 70 degrees, and all I was inhaling was cold air all night, but I was too tired to turn it off. And so now I feel like I'm getting sick, which is just my luck. Like, how does this happen? Okay, so let's start off with the obvious. I am obviously in a new place. I moved to Hollywood in December of last year, so it's been about 6 or 7 months now that I've been here. I know some of these things look familiar, but this is a totally different space because I'm in my own apartment. And Manny is no longer here with me because he stayed downtown and got his own place. So number one question that everybody has been asking is, where is Manny? What happened to Manny? Why you don't talk about Manny anymore? Who is that guy in the background? That ain't Manny. And that's the answer. Manny and I, after 11 years, decided to finally go our separate ways. I think we had the conversation sometime late August of last year. It was right around the time that I uploaded my last video. And I didn't expect for it to send me into like this long of a hiatus, but as I always say, life happens, and I needed that time to really process and like get back on my own 2 feet, because that was like a really devastating thing to go through. And even though in this moment I'm able to smile about it and be like kind of bubbly or chipper, the reality is like that was one of the hardest things I've ever had to go through. I feel like though it was like a long time in the making. Like Manny and I knew that our relationship was pretty much over a while ago. Like we knew it, but there's something about, you know, being in love with somebody and feeling comfortable and afraid to take a step out on your own when that's all you've ever known, or seemingly that's all you've ever known. That just kept us around in it for a lot longer than I think either one of us really cared for it to go. It was a mutual decision, but I wish that I could sit here and tell you guys more openly like what really happened and what really led to where we are today, but it's not only my business to tell, and I have to be respectful of his privacy and whether or not he wants a bunch of strangers on the internet knowing exactly what happened. So I won't get into details about exactly what led us to this point, but I will say that Manny and I have a lot of love between us. I know with all the confidence in my heart that one day in due time, him and I will be able to be friendly with each other again. But as of today, we don't really have any communication. We've talked a handful of times over the last 6 or 7 months, and I haven't seen him since January. But I know that he's doing good because I Insta-stalked him recently, being completely honest. And I saw that he was uploading on his YouTube channel again, which made me genuinely so happy for him, because I remember when I was there, like almost kind of forcing him to like start a channel, do something creative, get your ideas out there, because he's so creative and he has like a lot of ideas in his head that he was just too afraid to put himself out there for. And so it just made me really happy to see that totally like without any involvement of mine, he got back on it and actually beat me back to uploading, which is kind of crazy. So I made sure to comment and let him know that I was proud of him. And if any of you guys speak Spanish or know someone who speaks Spanish, I definitely recommend that you guys check out his channel, which I will link down below because I have nothing but love and want to support him. But he does Spanish. He does video game streaming in Spanish. So that's why I said if you speak Spanish, then you probably would want to check it out. Otherwise, I don't know if it'll be much help for you, but it's kind of different. The way that he's doing it is not like how everyone else does it. So I think it's like unique enough that you might want to check it out. So go and check him out, send him lots of love and tell him that Mo said, hey. Okay, so wait, let me take a quick step back because I think there's a lesson to be learned in kind of like what happened after we went our separate ways. And I think that's really like the point of this video for me today, is like if this resonates with at least 1 or 2 people and could really help somebody else move forward in a situation that they might be in, then like literally I feel like this was all worth it, because it's not easy to put yourself out there, like this stuff is personal. It's like it's not something to be made light of or whatever, but if it's helpful to somebody else, then I feel like it really was worth it. Like I said, back in August of last year, we had this little come to Jesus moment, a little sit down, a little powwow, if you will. And we were like, listen, love you to death. You'll always be my best friend, but we need to go our separate ways, right? And I remember thinking back to breakups that him and I had in the past. Like Manny and I have broken up over 11 years, at least 12 times. Okay. Like really, we have like gone through just like every other couple, right? Like it's not easy being in a long-term relationship, and you have to give a lot of yourself, and make a lot of sacrifices for the other person, especially if that person is somebody that you want to have in your life for the long haul. And so, looking back to some of the other times that him and I had broken up, we could have called it quits a long time before, but we were afraid. Like, I met Manny when I was like 18, 19 years old, and I was with him throughout my entire 20s. And he was like 25 when we first met. So, I was a big part of him growing up and stepping into adulthood and like taking on this new thing together called life as an independent person. And we experienced a lot of amazing things together and a lot of tough times together. So we probably could have called it quits years before we finally did. But there was a lot of love there and a lot of fear of what that might be like to, not have this person around every day anymore, not waking up to the same person every day. And so what's so crazy is, well, 2 things. So the first thing is, somebody said this to me actually pretty recently, and I thought at the time that it was like dumb and like kind of funny, but in retrospect it makes a lot of sense and I can totally relate. They were like, yeah, a lot of people are in relationships because it's fucking cheaper and more convenient. And I was like, no way, like nobody's gonna do that, like that doesn't make any sense. And then I'm like, girl, you did that and it didn't make any sense, but you sure did do it. And I think back to when a year before we went our separate ways, our lease was getting ready to come up, and there was another unit in our same building downtown, and we lived in a loft that was much bigger, super sexy, like literally like a dream loft for me personally. And it was more expensive than what we were paying in the unit that we were in, but it was cheaper than living separate. And at that time we were at another like pivotal moment where we were getting ready to go our separate ways. And I remember us sitting down at the table or wherever we were sitting, and we were just like, all right, this is how much it would be to do this. This is how much it would be to do that. And we decided to upgrade our apartment, even though we knew that we were on the cusp of breaking up, but we upgraded our apartment so that we can have more space. And it was, the idea for me at least, was that we would be able to have more space and be able to do our own separate things, which was true, but also be able to take advantage of like the creativity that could have happened in that unit. Like it was literally so beautiful. A lot of you guys will remember it. It was like the videos that I posted, the last, I don't know how many videos that I posted, where I had like those big windows and like you guys could see my bedroom from my vanity. That was the unit that we upgraded to. I never got around to doing a full loft tour. We literally only lived there for 1 year before we, officially broke up. But, it was like, listen, we both want to do this creative YouTube thing. We both have all the potential in the world. We just feel like we're on top of each other in this current unit. I mean, I am a natural born saleswoman. Listen, I sold the hell out of that place. I was like, this is what I want. Are we going to do it or what? And I was so happy that he was like, all right, let's do it. So that was the plan. And in a lot of ways, we accomplished some of the things that we set out to do. Like we were creating like really cool content. That was where I did my corporate lookbook video. If you guys haven't seen it, I will link it for you guys. But there was a lot of cool stuff that came out of that unit. But it just goes to my point in that we made a decision to stay together because it was more convenient for us than going our separate ways and figuring it the hell out. And ultimately, like, to fast forward to when we finally did make the decision to go our separate ways, no sooner than we actually committed to like, okay, we're just gonna be best friends and we're gonna live out the rest of this lease until January, and then we're gonna do our separate things. Within about a month's time, maybe 2 months time, like, so many other amazing doors started to open for me personally. And I feel like I'm just like such a testament. Like, that's my whole point. Like, I hope that somebody like really fucking gets this, that when you take yourself outside of your comfort zone, sometimes the best things happen. Not all the time, and I'm aware that not everybody's situation, everyone's circumstance is going to equate to the same thing. But I just feel like you'll never know if you don't try. And does that mean that I would have done anything differently before? Probably not, because who knows where I would be had I made one different decision back then. I probably wouldn't be where I am today, or maybe I would, but it would just take me through a different route. I don't really know. Obviously, that's not up to me. But like I've said this before, and I will continue to say it literally until the day that I die. Like, everything happens for a reason and in divine order. And while you're in the thick of something, sometimes it feels like there's no way out. How am I going to make this work? How am I going to get through this? I don't know how I'm going to afford this if I leave this man, or I don't know how I'm going to, get to work every day if he doesn't let me use his car. I don't fucking know, girl. Whatever the situation is, like, I really do feel like sometimes you just have to look beyond your current situation and see like what the possibilities are and really just fucking make it work. Like, at the end of the day, like, it's up to you to do, to make certain things happen for your life. And so for me in particular, what ended up happening was I started to casually look for new jobs. I wasn't happy where I was. I was with the same bank. You guys know I work in finance. I was with the same bank for 4 years since I moved to LA, and I was just unhappy. I felt stagnant, and I wasn't making the money that I wanted to make. And that was another thing that kept me in my relationship. I was afraid that if I left this relationship, I was gonna have to downsize my life. I'm a little bouge. I'm gonna be honest. I like to live a certain kind of way. All these things were a factor. And so I casually started looking for a new job, and stuff started to just happen like pretty quickly. And I was down to these 2 different interviews, one for one bank, another for another. And the bank that came out of like left field for me started to move really quickly and ultimately offered me the job before the other one did, and offered me a lot more money than what I thought that I would even be able to make at this point in my life. And so ultimately that just set me up to be able to move into this apartment, afford my similar lifestyle, and have this all to myself, and not have to make too many sacrifices that would have put me in a position where I would have felt resentful for like making that decision to leave, if that makes sense. So like that happened. And then, I get here to Hollywood and I'm all by myself. I don't know anybody in this building. It's a brand new building that they had built. And for the first, I would say like 2 months, I didn't really talk to many people. The occasional hi and bye in the elevator or whatever at the mailbox, but I didn't know anybody. Like, I was literally by myself, and it was kind of challenging. Like, I felt like I only had the couple people that I would still keep in touch with from when I lived downtown, but I wasn't really hanging out with them the way that I was before, because it's more of a, you have to put in more effort to maintain those friendships when it's like, before we used to all live in the same building, and so I had people that I would kick it with all the time, and now that I moved away in traffic and after work, it was like I wasn't really seeing people the way that I was accustomed to. And so that felt really challenging for me, and I felt like really isolated because I'm such a people person. Like, I don't like to be alone. I actually really enjoy being around people. And so within about 2 months, or after about 2 months, I started to meet people in my building. A lot of, you know, other single creative people who have similar goals that I do. We relate on so many different levels, and like I started to forge this new friendship group that I literally have been having so much fun with. And a lot of you guys that follow me on Instagram are probably familiar with these random faces that you've been seeing all the time, and it's because I've been like literally just truly like having the most fun. Now it is distracting as hell, I'll be honest, and that's one reason why I kind of like really encouraged myself today to sit down and film, because I was like, I'm gonna continue to be in this like, okay, I'll do it next time, maybe next month, I'll give myself to the end of the summer, I'll do this. And I kept wanting to put it off because like somebody texts me and wants to go to the pool, girl, I want to go to the pool. Or like, you want to go out to dinner? Yeah, I want to go out to dinner. Like, you know, I don't have anything better to do. Like, I'm here by myself. I don't have the companionship that I once had that I could always lean on. So anytime that somebody wants to invite me out, I was pretty much always game to go. And so I was like, listen, like today, like you got to sit your ass down and record, girl, because I literally just have been feeling like this overwhelming, like compelling feeling of wanting to film again. And I don't know if it's because somebody out there needed to see this video, or if it's just because it's the right time for me to just get to it. But I just, something was just like, again, compelling me to want to sit down and record. And so I've been trying my best to like balance out the two and like get my mind in a more productive state. Like I said, a lot of these people that I've been hanging out with, they're all creative as well. So there's a lot of like collaborative ideas that we've been sharing on how we can work together and like do different cool stuff. But I first needed to like address the elephants in the room, so to speak, and kind of like do this comeback video so that I could finally get to what it is that I've been wanting to all along, which is back to the reviews, back to the tutorials, back to the content and stuff like that. So I don't know if that was helpful at all, but I guess really like my whole purpose in sharing this is just to encourage you guys out there who may be going through either a similar situation, whether it be a long-term relationship, a breakup, a friendship, a family situation, a work situation, to step outside of your comfort zone and don't hold yourself back. And the moment that you like step beyond what you're so used to and get out of this like complacent space, doors will start to open up for you. And like I believe in that, I really, really do. Had I had more support or been brave, you know, more brave or more motivated to do this, like who knows how much further along I would be towards the goals that I have for myself. And so that's really kind of like the gist of what I wanted to communicate with you guys today. And also in terms of like what you guys can look forward to seeing from me next would be just more content similar to what I was doing before I took this break. Like I was starting to do fashion videos and like, you know, shooting in different cool ways, vlogging still. I definitely want to start vlogging again, and then just reviewing makeup and like giving you guys my perspective. I started to feel like, which is a beautiful thing by the way, but I started to feel like my voice no longer mattered. There's other really creative or really amazing, talented, dark skin beauty bloggers out there that you can look to for your foundation recommendation or what she thinks about this eyeshadow palette or whatever. And I started to feel like my voice didn't really matter anymore. And I realize now that is not the case. Like I get so many requests from you guys wanting to just hear my perspective on how this worked, or, you know, I'm more closely aligned with your skin tone than this other beauty blogger is. And so like there's a place for me here on YouTube, and I just am so excited to finally be getting back into this like feeling of wanting to share again. You know, it's been a long time coming, and I don't know, I'm just like, I'm happy that I'm finally recording this, you know. I think that that's all I'm gonna say in this video. I feel like I rambled way long enough. I hope that this video was helpful. Please leave me comments down below and let me know what products you guys want me to review next, because that will be my next video. I know that you guys have asked for the Juvia's Place foundations and concealers. I've gotten a few of those like on Instagram. So if that's what you guys want to see, just let me know down below. If there's anything else that you want me to open up about or talk about, please do put it in the comments or DM me or whatever you feel is best. And I'm really like excited to get back on this, you guys. So just help me out and like help get me started again, because I don't really know what you guys want to see. I haven't been makeup shopping in so long. I really don't even know what new makeup is out there. So unless you guys tell me what you want to see, like I won't know where to start. But thank you guys again for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And also make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'll have all that stuff listed down below in the description box, as well as what I'm wearing on my face. I know you guys always want to know what I have on my lips and stuff like that. So I'll link it down below. My nail polish, don't even ask. This is something from the nail salon. I have no idea. It's just like a regular gel manicure. So I won't have my nail polish color for you guys, but makeup and all that stuff, I got you. All right guys, that is it. This was not so bad. I'm back, baby. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.